I have a difficult time grasping the concept of we souls choosing lives of pain and suffering in order to appreciate the opposite bliss and pleasure. Can you please elaborate? We are living in a world of opposites. These opposites are not only optional, that we can choose one option or the other, they are necessary in order to have any experience. Take, for example, the experience of light. We are seeing light here. Imagine there is no darkness. And this light was all the time there. Whether we go open our eyes, close our eyes, we would never see the light. We would not even know what is light. Darkness is necessary to see light. And great darkness is necessary to see very bright light. Similarly, if somebody has never seen anything bad, the good will never be observed because there's no comparison. Our entire perception, our entire understanding of what's going on around is based upon pairs of opposites. That is why we say this world is a world of duality. It's a world of opposites, pairs of opposites. Nothing can be experienced if there is no opposite of it. So you can look at all the things that you experience and you will see the experience comes into being, comes into your awareness because there's an opposite of that existing. And that is why we go into this world of pairs of opposites so that we can appreciate a world of no opposites, of bliss all the time. Now we come into the world of pairs of opposites and go into a world where there's no opposites. Now supposing this creation had not taken place and we were only in the state of bliss, we would not know what bliss is. When we come to this, a world of duality and world of opposites, we go back to our true home. We appreciate because we know what we are now getting and what those people are missing who have not gone out. In fact, they have described this in some of the books, in Anurag Sagar and some others. It is said that the souls who come here into the world of duality and go back to their true home, they dance with so much joy and bliss compared to the souls who never left the Sachkhand. And the souls in Sachkhand say, what is so special about you? They name these souls who go back from here as Hans, and they name the souls who are still living there, never came out, as Bans. And the Bans are dancing with bliss, but the Hans are dancing even more. And they ask the Hans, what is so special about you? We are all in a land of bliss, and we are all having a great time. What is so special that you are dancing even better than us? And the Hans says, you don't know what you are missing, because you don't know what you have got. You never saw the opposite. Now, once we say that the true home is beyond pairs of opposites, then naturally we are experiencing something which has nothing opposite there. To create the experience of a true home, we create an experience of pairs of opposites. Although the duality is only here, and there is no duality there, this duality becomes an opposite of non-duality. And that is why non-duality becomes experienceable. It's such a wonderful state, the way it has been put up. And that is why, when we go back, we discover the true bliss and appreciate it much more. This appreciation is part of the spiritual function of the soul, that it can appreciate beauty and joy and bliss, as I mentioned earlier. So that is why an experience here goes back to enjoy that. But there's another caveat to that, and that is, supposing both experiences were equally real, supposing that was also real, this was also real, then we would say, maybe it's not worthwhile to create so much suffering and unhappiness in a world of duality to go back to our true home. The truth is, this looks like a dream. And no matter how bad the dream is, when we wake up, we say, thank God it was a nightmare, it was a dream, not real. When we go to our true home, we discover that what we created as an opposite was actually just a dream from there and were not real like the reality of our true home.